Hi, everyone. Welcome again. It's Friday, and I'm excited to be here with you and have the opportunity to connect and talk and chat and spend the next 20 or so minutes talking a little bit more about setting routines that honor our process and our courage. So, thank you so much for showing up, and I hope that today's session we can have a little bit more interaction. What I am setting myself to do today is, now that we've talked a couple of times about your courage and how do we get ourselves out there and how do we talk more thoughtfully about going against that inner complainer or the voices that set us back. What I want to do is actually start talking a little bit more about the tools that we can leverage in order to kind of get ourselves there. So hopefully you have either tea or coffee, but I'm ready. So why don't we just go ahead and jump to it and talk a little bit more about routines that help us set up in a way that help us show up better and really tackle the inner dialogue that we have when it comes to facing our fears and living a life that is more authentic. So today, I will say that the month of September just started, and if there's anything that you know about it in the States is that kids go back to school. And what is particular interesting about this month is that in addition to that, many companies are also starting to open their doors and starting to get more employees in. So my transition this month in my household is that both husband and children are starting to have their own set of activities and going out. As an entrepreneur, right, I started this seminar coaching business. This brings me with a new reality because now I am set with building a group of routines for the week that build me and build my business and build the type of life that I want to have. It is exciting. It is also pretty scary because if coming from corporate America, what it would tend to happen was my morning used to be a dash. I used to get kids, everybody ready, husband ready, everybody had breakfast, let's go, let's get out, everybody in the car, we go, move, and then get in the office, and you'd have a set of times already put together by your admin, and your day was survival, right? Because you were either answering emails, going into meetings, finishing projects, et cetera, until the end of the day where you would then go through the mad dash again of getting your kids, getting dinner on the table, going to bed. If anything happened during the last 24 months is that for me in particular, all these routines were exacerbating and really depleted my personal energy to give more. So the reason why I am incorporating the discussions of routines today was because as a giver, and I know that many of you are, I want to live a life where my cup is full. If you think about what a full cup looks like is when you are at your best and you're living a full cup of type of life, you are actually, what you're giving to others, is the liquid that pours out of that cup, right? The coffee, the tea, whatever, your chai. Because when your cup is full, you are in a state where your inner peace, your joy, and your sense of fulfillment is high. When you are depleted, your cup starts to empty, and your ability to give to others happens, but it is at the price of your own well-being. So when you are thinking about how you show up and how you honor your personal goals, you need to live a life that is closer to filling that cup than having it depleted. And I don't know if it happens to you, but that was something that struck to me not too long ago when I was given the gift of time to really think about what I wanted to do. And COVID, the pandemic did that for me. It gave me the opportunity to question a lot of things about whether or not I wanted to continue to serve to others with a quarter of a cup full that was impacting my ability to feel happy, or do I want to do it in a way that truly kind of honors other people's truth? So here's what I am setting forward in the next 30 days, and I hope that as you try something similar too, we can talk about whether that works. So the way that I'm setting my routines is threefold. One, I'm setting an intention. So when I look at my calendar, when I look at what I'm going to do within the next week and 30 days, I am going to look clearly at what are my business working hours, what time am I spending throughout the day on things that matter to me, that fill my cup of joy, what things am I spending with others, and what am I doing intentionally on that? And then how do I think and view my week? Like, how do I want to feel about it? So my intention this month is I want to get my coaching seminar session workshop out for you later this month. I want to feel fulfilled. So I want to feel joyful. I want to feel excited. And that's an inner goal. My outer goal is set up the business, making sure that my social pages are up to date and that you're able to leverage and access this content, and that we are establishing a connection in a relationship. That's kind of that goal, right? Feels lofty. But by doing that, then when I look at my week, I start saying, okay, what are the routines that are in support of that? So my second part of my goal is, now that I know my intention, which is build a business and feel great about it, my second one is going to be, what are the routines that serve that mission and what are the ones that don't? So guess what is funny about life? We don't live in isolation. We have lives that are more than just work. We have times to spend with our family. When we think about how do we build our relationships, what time are we dedicating to our spiritual growth? What time are we dedicating to our personal development? What time are we dedicating to our spouses and our partnerships? What time are we dedicating to ourselves? So what I am doing in reviewing those routines is I am actually color coding my calendar. And it feels funny because it's like, okay, yeah, you're setting yourself pretty structured. But what I found about myself is the more time I spend, and when I say more time, this is more like a 30-minute exercise, but if I spend 30-minute exercising thinking about the big accomplishments that I want to get throughout every single week, and I take my lofty goal of building my business and bring it down to small size accomplishments, the greater I will feel fulfilled with regards to what I am doing and how I'm moving towards that. So for example, I found recently that I really enjoy walking, and I have, as an introvert, I like spending some Roxana time with Roxana, right? So I spend time with myself in the sense that I take 20 minutes for my treadmill, I put some music on, and I love music. So I will put, let's say, Imagine Dragons, or I put Shakira or Celia Cruz, or anything that gives me energy and that is positive and that gives me a sense of joy. 20 minutos, 20 minutes on the treadmill. And if I don't have a treadmill, I can walk for 20 minutes and really just do that activity, get my body moving. Those 20 minutes, I have it color coded in my calendar in purple because purple is my favorite color. And after that, I do another 10 minutes of me drinking coffee and just spending time. I do that early because I know that before the kids get up, that's my moment of zen, that's my moment of peace, and I'm a morning person, so that's what gives me energy. I do that there. After I do that, then I have slotted another color code of like time with my family, which is getting them ready for school, getting them ready for work, and getting those moments set through. And that's a moment that I will color code differently and just gives me the perspective of saying, okay, this is the time I'm dedicating to them. And then after all that is said, I will have blocks of my day throughout the Monday through Friday, which is my work hours, where I am dedicating to marketing, building my business plan, setting time for education and growth, because that is important to me, and then also setting some connections and some moments to network and connect with all of you. As you can see, I've already set a routine where every Tuesday I'm sending out an email that kind of brings out this blurb and post of what my shows are going to be about. But then I also think about the next portions of time where I am thinking through how can I build useful content that gives you the pause and say, wow, this is important to me. This is what I want to do. I also am looking at the rest of my day, right? We are holistic beings. So it's not only work, it's not only children, it's not only spouse, it's also chores in the house or time with of recreation and of fun. So I will look at meal planning because it makes my life more efficient. And I put things in the oven and then I know that those are the meals for the week and that gets it through. I will look at what are the type of activities that I can do with my kids? So not every single night is just TV. I could probably say, hey, do we take a walk, or do we do movie night, or do we do some playtime, or what activities do they have outside of school that then gets the family out and moving forward? I also look at the things that I know I need to do, but I don't like to do too much. And I think about my village, right? I have a family, and in that portion, I look at the chores. What are the days that we clean our house? What are the days that who's in charge of laundry? Or how do I start getting my kids to start owning a little bit more of their own responsibilities now that they're growing and that it's an important life skill to give to them? So I go through that, right? So first, intention. Second, routines. What do I want to do? And what do I not, or what does not serve? And what can I help coordinate and agree with the members of my family to taking on? And then other things of what are we not going to do that doesn't serve that? So an example was if we eat dinner together and we have our phone here with us, and my intention is to be more fulfilled and more connected with my family that month, I'd love to get in agreement with my family members to say, hey, those 20 minutes that we're sitting together, I'll be the first offender. I'll put my phone away and I'll put any electronics away, so then we can talk a little bit about the day or we can just chat. After those 20 minutes, if we're done and we have had that time, then we move on and check email or not, or do what we need to do. But we come to an agreement where everybody is an active participant and feel that, okay, those are moments that we can feel more connected. Start small. Don't overcomplicate it. It can be one thing that you commit and see and view. But what I will do at the end of this week is actually I'm going to look back and say, okay, what served me and what held me back? And if there's things that I thought were very important that are no longer important today, it's okay to pivot and change. At the end of the day, nobody's living your life for you. You are living your own life. So if there are things that are not serving your purpose in a way to get to that personal goal, it is okay to engage into that agreement with your peers, with your family members, to really think about that. But that agreement needs to start with your inner courage with yourself and say, yeah, I'm going to take this step and I'm going to try. And I'm not going to seek for perfection. I'm not going to set an expectation. Because if anything, the word expectation, for me personally, is a word that kind of just sets myself up for failure, right? Because if I don't meet that expectation, then I'm not meeting my sense of grandeur that I'm setting for myself. I'm actually setting myself to not commit to it. So that kind of just feels a little disappointed, right? But if anything, what I want to get to you to take with you today is, this is a journey. So the journey and the seek of perfection is just a part of it. It's not the end goal. The third step, which brings me to that, is celebrating. So once you set your routines, they're just little accomplishments. Let's say that one of your personal accomplishments was to say, I'm going to get up every day to walk, but my minimal achievement is actually to do it 3 times this week. And let's say that life happens and you actually just got up 3 times this week. Celebrate it. Celebrate it because you showed up for yourself. Celebrate it because you took a decision of going against the routine or the day-to-day fog, and you broke that pattern and you did something that you had planned for and you came through. Every little step is a step forward towards the life and the goals that you want. And if we set ourselves in a way that we're just, seeking to achieve 100% of it into a level of high expectation, then you are already deflating the energy for your inner courage to thrive, because you're giving yourself impossible tasks to go for. So as you set your routines, think about what is achievable and what's not. And if things take a little longer, then set your routines in a way that gets you there. So if you want to be able to have something by the end of the next, month, then set the smaller steps today that can get you closer, but it doesn't mean that you sign up a deal today. It just gets you there. And practice celebration. Sometimes we don't give ourselves enough pats on the back than we should. And being able to do that is food and nurture to our self-confidence, to our heart, to the acknowledgement that we are human beings and that you are accepting every day as it is, but you are giving the best of yourself and you're doing the best that you can today. And that should be acknowledged and celebrated. And it starts by doing it yourself. I am doing it. I tried. There are days that are moments that could be not as best as others, but why practice is also forgiveness, because I know that I'm doing the best that I can. And I talk to family members and friends and say, hey, this is me. And if I'm having a good day, I'm having it. And if I'm having a day where I need to let emotions go, I do. And then move forward, because that's the beauty of life. Being here and being able to experience it and being able to learn is what we take with ourselves. And I want to be able to contribute to that. So as we set up this journey of my upcoming moments and shows and posts, what I will take you through is first the vulnerability and candor transparency of my personal journey on how I'm getting through that, but then also hopefully some tools that set you up to think about what you can shift, even if it's a little bit, that gets you closer to the type of life and joy that you want to live, because that's where I feel the most fulfilled, when I see people go after their dreams, go after what they want, and bring their personal gifts. I don't want individuals around me to hold back, because there's so much we can learn from one another. And I want to see your success through that. If you want to learn more, know that I'll be posting more on www.pranahuman.com. Go to my Facebook page, and I'll start posting more on my Instagram as well. So we'll start seeing more of these posts, more of these content. Send me a comment or a DM if you want to learn more personally. If you are, don't want to go too public with it, hey, I can take the personal message too, and I want to kind of honor your journey, and I would be so grateful to be able to just engage in that conversation and curiosity. So have a great day, my friends, and I hope to, I wish you that you have a great weekend and have a great start of the month. And for those of you that have school kids starting, my joy and my appreciation to you, because I know that this is a journey for all of us. So be well, and see you next week.